And look at Jochen Hahn and Antonio Albacete. The two of them go flying through the right-hand side, then the left-hand side. Jochen Hahn around the outside, and Lucas Hahn, no father and son, come together on the exit of turn one.
And the best thing about this is the fact that it's still a 15-minute sprint race. They've not extended the time of the race. It's still just like, it's going to be, what, 7 laps as far as I can know.
We get to the real nitty-gritty of motorsport. Cranston and Smith are side by side for the title in the very final race of the season as they go back up the hill towards the Schumacher. Nils Kor clips the back at 10, Simon Povey clips the side of Nils Kor. They go over the hill and Povey's around.
Oh my god, that's going to definitely be the thumbnail when it hit me in the right direction.
Thank you so much.
23 cars.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Chaz Draycott Media, and welcome to the season finale of the very first season of Formula CDM, the Formula CDM European Series. We're here at Autodromo Enzo Edino Ferrari, the beloved Imola, a legendary racing circuit in San Marino in Italy, and it's bound to be a fantastic venue for our final race meeting of the season. I'm Chaz Draycott, delighted to be joined once again by Dara Thacker in the commentary box. Dara, you joined us just a couple of rounds ago to take on the second half of the season, and, well, it's all of a sudden coming to a close, mate. What have you made of it?
Yeah, it's been a wild 3 weeks, isn't it, really? Of course, you know, Red Bull Ring last week really showing how crazy this series can be, and all the racing that we saw over the course of the evening. But it all comes down to a track like Imola. You know, not the easiest place to overtake, but in these cars you're going to be able to find a way. The undulations really can be almost more of a point to make in these cars, and yeah, it's going to be a good evening. Because, of course, as we're going to see in the points, you can't drop this round, of course, Shaz. Everything's going to count.
It absolutely is, yeah, and Fraser Smith has a 30-point lead over Aaron Smith. It was 40 at the end of last time, but obviously with the drop score coming in, Aaron at least gets a few points out of the Red Bull Ring because his drop score is now 0 instead of being 10. Lee Aberdeen in third place, unfortunately not here tonight, and is likely to lose that third place in the championship to Sam Fitzpatrick. Matt Hoyland and Kevin Zemstra are next up. But in the Drivers' Championship, it's just down to Fraser Smith now, and all he has to do is outscore Aaron Smith in the first race of the night. Basically, there's 30 points available for winning the feature. If he remains 30 or more points ahead, it's mathematically impossible for Aaron to take the championship. In the Blade Speed Esports Championship, the Teams Championship, it's Blade Speed Esports that have dominated it, and they will be wearing a special livery here tonight with a lot of gold on the car. Fraser's going to be hoping, I'm sure, to make the most of that. And obviously, take it forward to be a gold-winning car, let's say. But it's going to be a spicy, spicy night for it. But as we come to the end of this season, though, it's a very exciting time in a way, because the next season of Formula CDM is right around the corner. And in just over a month's time, we'll be getting ready for Season 2, the Americas Series, which we have a little preview of just here. As you see there, a very, very spicy calendar to come in the Americas series of Formula CDM, starting at mid-Ohio, heading across to Miami, then to Road Atlanta. Then we go north into Canada for Circuit Gilles Villeneuve, back to Laguna Seca in California, and then we have the legendary, the very famous Belle Isle. We dip down south into Brazil to go to Interlagos, because it'd be an absolute bit of blasphemy not to head somewhere like Interlagos. And then we come back to Barber Motorsports Park in the US. And I don't know about you, Dara, but when I was putting the calendar together for that, I almost forgot that place existed. But every time I've commentated there, it's been an absolute riot. What have you made of that place whenever you've worked there, let's say?
Yeah, it's a track in kind of like middle of nowhere, Alabama, isn't it? Really, so it is one that you could easily miss off the map. But it is a great little circuit for racing. Not many clear overtaking zones if you're looking to race in, say, an IndyCar, which does go there every year, or even a prototype. But the smaller you get, as with every single circuit, the better racing that you can have. And it's got such long flowing corners and wide enough moments and double apex parts as well that you can really see some great racing around there. And for a season finale, in a way, it's a bit similar to what we have here at Imola. A track that you wouldn't necessarily think could be explosive, but almost certainly will be.
Yeah, definitely. I think this place is going to be catching a number of drivers out tonight with the curbs especially. There's a lot of runoff areas here and curbs for the cars to clip and spin on, so I think it's going to be quite interesting to see who manages to survive it. Victor Oliveira on our screen right now, Brazilian driver. I'm sure will be happy with the fact that we're heading to Interlagos, his home circuit in Season 2. He's had a bit of a rough ride this season though, taking a bit of time to get used to the car. Not quite able to fully get the grasp of it. You can see just how twitchy and loose it is on the brakes. He's trying to keep it nice and smooth, nice and tidy. But he's been enjoying his time here, and that's the main thing. And we've had quite a few drivers in the series like that, haven't we really, Dara, where they've just been enjoying the fact that they're part of it, not necessarily worried about results.
Yeah, and that's kind of the joy of it sometimes, particularly when you get to this stage and you know that you're not really in contention. You can just drive for the thrill of it, B, the pride as well, and so you can get these guys that have it goes wide through Rabatza 1. You can just get these guys that have just pure ambition of the evening and really will focus on getting the best results, but also at the same time aren't going to be overly fussed if it doesn't go their way. It's always nice to have that kind of relaxing look at a race like this, even if it is a championship finale. But yeah, this is going to be a circuit where you're going to have to keep the concentration high. So I think for a few guys it may be frustrating if they do have to find themselves finding their way through the order.
Yeah, you can see, look, it's very easy to get caught out by the understeer of this car. It's a strangely understeery Formula car. It is the same car that we do intend on using for Season 2 of Formula CDM, the Americas Series. It is the Indy Pro 2000 PM18. I think it would be quite fitting to take this car to America, as that's where the thing races most. But yeah, it's been an interesting machine for drivers to get used to this season. There's been a lot of very conflicting reviews on it, but all in all, people have said it's a fun car to drive once you get used to it. It's just very lively and it wants to kill you everywhere. It's like the front end is quite pointy sometimes, completely understeery others, and then it's like the rear wheels are shopping cart trolleys. Shopping trolley wheels. So yeah, I imagine there's a nearly 300 horsepower, 500 kilo Formula car. It's quite lively, isn't it?
Yeah, and not easy to control, particularly on some of the more difficult acceleration zones. That Minerali that we've just seen, definitely one of those. A little bit tentative as well through the Brian Alta, running now in towards the final couple of corners. But again, this is a circuit where, because you want to get on that throttle early, to your point, means that rear end's really going to want to step around with these tyres, with the amount of horsepower that you see at the back. You can just about see him almost just trying to flick the car around into that corner, but goes wide. And that's the risk. The second you get a bit of understeer, drivers are going to want to try and play on that rear end a little bit more, and that can be really quite dangerous.
Yeah, that's the thing. You want to try and sort of rotate the car with the throttle and with the brakes where you can. Victor Oliveira, unfortunately, dropping a bit of time in the final sector, but it's still a valid time. 1:45.085 for him, and he puts the first lap time on the board here in qualifying for round number 8 of the Formula CDM European Series. Next up is Danny Weir in car 55, the EMKA racing machine. He was doing the maths actually earlier on in the week, and if I just have a look for the message, he said something about Alex basically having one job to do in terms of scoring. Yeah, he said he only has to score 3 points. That way Alex's final total will be 95 and the team total will be 105 for cars 5 and 55. It's a little theme that they've clung on to all season, and yeah, it seems like they may still have a plan even now.
Yeah, it's the Vettel Science duo, isn't it, down there at the team? But yeah, let's see if he can get any more in the final race. I think with the fact that we have a couple less drivers than we've had in previous weeks means that it's going to be a little bit easier to score. So who knows, they may even go past that 105, maybe 115. That could be a target.
Yeah.
The ones and the fives in.
Yeah.
But I guess that would you wouldn't be able to get the fives in at the end of the. Oh well, they'll work out, I'm sure. It's nice when you can go into a race thinking about that kind of maths, rather than a championship.
Yeah, very true. Not thinking about, if I score this many points, this guy needs to finish here. It's more just, Alex, just score 3 points, mate. Just score 3 points. That means over the course of the night, all Alex would have to do is either finish 8th in the sprint race or 13th in the feature. He doesn't have to do both. So, yeah. Ben Chalcraft has very kindly popped into the chat. Hello to Crimson as well. Ben saying, I'm planning on mixing it up this week by binning the car myself instead of being hit by someone else. Which is brutal but true, I'd say, for Ben, unfortunately. He's had a bit of a rough time with contact so far this season, so fingers crossed for Ben that it's a nice clean night for him.
He gets there first then, whether it's someone else or him, right?
Yeah.
Feels inevitable now, doesn't it? He's still got to wait to qualify though. He might qualify at the front, may just about escape it. You never know. Strange thing to happen in the final race of the season. Danny Weir running to the line. This has been an improved lap time on Victor Oliveira's lap, that's for sure, and by a relatively decent chunk. But there's already drivers going quicker than him. I think Simon Price is the one who's going to go to the top very shortly. Yeah,
Simon Price just coming over the crest of the hill now, down towards Rivazza in car 64. Simon was really displeased with his performance back at the Red Bull Ring, and he wants to get some more points on the board here in the season finale at Imola. It's a good opportunity to, as Dara has rightly mentioned, there are 18 drivers here tonight, and the 15 top drivers in the feature race will score points. Simon crosses the line, and it's a lovely lap, 1:42.1 for him. Puts him at the top of the order. Connor Hatfield next for Spontex CDM Esports. Connor, the American, very happy about the prospect of the Americas series. I haven't quite given him an oval, but I've given him a roval. He's somehow struggling with turning left.
Yeah, it's never fun when you can't really rotate the car into the Ravazzas because it just feels so long. It's over 180 degrees of rotation, just about. And there's no real room for error anywhere at this circuit, but particularly through there when you're looking for good exits onto this start-finish straight. And it can be so tricky. You really have to nail that first apex, and almost by doing so, the second apex can come flowing to you. But if you miss the first, it's almost odds law that you're going to miss the second. Here's Philip Miles. Let's see how he manages to adapt to it. Beautifully touches the inside of the first. Beautifully gets onto the inside of the second, runs it out wide, but not too far wide, very much within track limits, not going to lose too much time running over that curb, and that was, well, beautifully done after we were talking about it, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Clings it to the inside as well, runs along the wall. Has he beaten Simon Price there? No, he's not. He's nearly half a second down, 142.5, but it's looking good for Martin Kenyon right now. He too has a tidy final corner. He's a little bit hesitant on the throttle there though, and across the line he goes. Is he going to smooth it out, or is he just going to cling it to the right? It's a bit of both actually. Stays in the middle of the road to hold the speed. Across the line goes Martin, and up to the top by a second goes Martin Kenyon. A lovely lap time indeed, a 141.119. Next up is Stuart Clark. No purple sectors for him just yet. We'll see what he can do out of the final couple of corners. Stuart's been very under the radar, hasn't he, this season, considering the livery?
Yeah, there's been a couple of drivers I think that have managed to fit that description over the course of the season so far. It's only been a short one, hasn't it, really? It's 8 evenings, 16 races in total. Stuart Clark, you called him Simon Clark there. Stuart Clark goes second, 8/10 off of Kenyon though, and that's looking like a very good lap time at the moment for him.
Yeah, really good stuff by Martin Kenyon. He's set a belter there. John Tusting with a bit of understeer. He says this is the only round of the season he's not put in any practice for. So he says we're going to see his true pace tonight, apparently. He's very self-deprecating by John Tusting. Across the line he goes. Luckily, you break the timing beam before the second of the right-handers there. And he goes second fastest. Half a second down, sure, but still second fastest ahead of a number of other drivers. David Whitehouse missing his teammate Jack Werrell tonight. We wish Werrell all the best. As, heck, a little bit wide in the first part there by David, but glances the curbs on both of the second parts of the Rivazza. All the way over to the wall. He's the closest to the wall so far. Sounds like he might have lost a bit of speed there, Dara. It sort of dropped the revs a bit, and yeah, 1.2 seconds down in 5th place.
Not what we've expected from him in recent weeks. I think he'll be looking to fight his way through. I was going to say, if John Tusting hasn't done any practice, I guess this is his John testing session, right? Before we get into the race. Fabio Grosseto, he's going to interrupt my antics with what looks like a very, very quick lap time. A little bit wide through Rivazza 1, jumping over that curve. A little bit squirrely, isn't he, out of the final corner as well? Let's see. Grosseto in what is his home race. Surely, this is going to be the fastest time of the session so far.
Yeah, all purples for Fabio. Lovely stuff. And another 1.2 seconds. Wow, 139.8 displaces Kenyon. And again, he's realised he remembered the rules. Good boy. He got a bit of a telling off just before the driver's briefing, as he was the only driver out on track, and then he nearly forgot the rules there again. Ben Shellcraft is next up then. Ben, like I say, has had a bit of a rough ride of it the last couple of weeks. He's had a lot of contact in recent races. He wants to avoid that here tonight and have a clean run. He has said though he couldn't get the hang of Imola. Seems like he's doing all right so far. It looks tidy, doesn't it?
It does, but it's not as fast as Fabio for the time being. It means he could go anywhere, to be honest with you, with the fact that this is his one and only lap time. Through he goes, very anti-outer, a little bit of aggression over the curve, but not too much, running it out slightly wide over that white line, but it should all be valid as he runs his way into the final couple of corners. I mean, there's a chasm, isn't there, between first and second that he could try and slot himself into. But it wasn't a fantastic sector 4. Slower than his outlap, so let's see if he can pick it up as he rounds the final corner. Thiago Martó, by the way, has just set a purple sector on his outlap, so goodness knows what this lap time's going to be. Here comes Shellcraft to the line. Looks like it's going to be slower than Grosseto. Where could this guy? I think this is going to go P2. Is it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Just ahead of Martin Kenyon. Ben will be pleased with that so far. He'll be chuffed. He'll be hoping to stay up there as best he can. Jack Reeve next up. Jack's been a very exciting driver to watch this season for Cross Development, the Swiss racing team. Big slide there. He's not quite matched up to his teammate Lennart Schneebel over the course of the season, but Lennart has missed a number of rounds, so Jack has been the one carrying the torch in the team's championship. He crosses the line now, and will that be second place for Jack? Yes, it will. Just 0.3 off of Fabio. They've had similar pace all season of those two, and yeah, it seems like the green helmet enthusiasts are sticking together once again. Here's Alex Fretwell, Sebastian Vettel, and he now makes his way around the final corner. Didn't look like it wanted to behave itself there.
No, and he's got to just power it to the line. I hope that the time doesn't slip too far away. This should be a good enough lap time for the front couple of rows. Yeah, 40.3 give or take, so that should be P3. And there he goes,
Tasty.
up into the top 3. He's half a second off, but I mean, this is getting better and better for Grosseto at the moment, because Martó he isn't exactly giving us the pace in all parts of the lap that we'd necessarily expect or come to expect over the last couple of weeks.
No, I mean, a yellow sector there means he hasn't even improved on his personal best. It was Marteau and then Grassetto, the top two in practice. What can Thiago Marteau do? Oh, it's only by 1/10 of a second. That certainly leaves a lot of it open to interpretation, doesn't it? Wow, that's close.
Yeah, it shows that either that Grassetto's lap time is absolutely fantastic, or Marteau's maybe slightly off the pace, and yet he's still on provisional pole, right? We've only got another, I think, 4 cars left to set lap time, so it's looking increasingly good for the likes of Grassetto to qualify at least in the top 5 in this session, if he can hold on ahead of the likes of Kevin Zemstra, because he's coming to the line now in that number 25. Again, not improving from the outlap, and it's the thing we've seen from Marteau and Zemstra, but where's he going to put himself in that number 25? It's going to go into P. It's the weight. Oh,
it's invalid.
It's not even valid. I was going to be waiting a very long time for that.
Wow, so Kevin Zemstra, unfortunately, not setting a valid lap time there. He's made a small mistake somewhere around the lap, and that means that he's gone outside of track limits, and it has not counted. Sam Fitzpatrick next up. Sam has been pushing and pushing and is hoping to grab 3rd place in the championship here tonight. Maybe even 2nd place if he gets enough of a run on Aaron, but it's a little bit just out of reach for him. I think as long as Aaron behaves himself, he's going to hold on to at least 2nd and still challenge for the top spot. But Sam just wants to take those points away from Lee Aberdeen, who we unfortunately do not have here with us tonight. But big thanks to Lee for being a part of the season and being as entertaining as he has been. Led the championship after the first meeting back at Navarra. And unfortunately from there it all went a little bit downhill with incidents and penalties and all sorts. Sam Fitzpatrick, though, you can tell he is pushing. Lively body language in that Flaxon Sport car. What's it going to be? Is it in... Oh, 5th place, though. 8/10 off. That's not what I expected from Sam at all. I thought he'd invalidated it for a moment there, but no. Aaron Smith wants to have a good night because he's had a very bad day. He's just come back from the Las Vegas Grand Prix where he's been working, and his car battery has drained while he's been away. His car alarm has gone off, drained the battery, the windows have come down. It's a Porsche, by the way, and it's flooded the footwell and destroyed the control module for the car. So
fantastic.
He's not having a good day, is Aaron. He's going to be glad that there's no windows that can accidentally fall down on this PM18, but it does concern me that he may drive in anger tonight. 2nd in the championship, 30 points off Fraser. He looks like he's pushing well here, though.
Yeah, he's sticking that right foot firmly into the floor. That was a really aggressive exit out of the final corner. Where does Aaron Smith put himself as he crosses the line? Should be good enough for P3 as he crosses the line. No, it's only good enough for P4. He needed a bit more than that, I think it's fair to say, to try and challenge Fraser Smith, who isn't going fastest by any stretch of the imagination. And it looks like it could still be Marteau and Grassetto at the top of the timing tab by the time that he crosses the line. Of course, he is the final driver, being the championship leader coming into this final race of the season. But with Aaron Smith back in what very well could be P5, this is a great chance for Fraser to wrap it up before we even get into that feature.
Yeah, definitely. He could still win the championship in the sprint race tonight, so long as he keeps it clean. He did really well in the sprint back at the Red Bull Ring against Thiago Marteau, and Fraser only finds himself 4th on the grid. Grassetto and Reeves setting some blistering times in there, and Thiago Marteau will take another pole position. Fraser Smith will line up 4th, Aaron Smith behind him in 5th place, and another very exciting qualifying session comes to a close here at Imola. You can see the gold livery on the Blade Speed Esports car. That is because they are now teams champions with one race meeting left to go. Unfortunately, Lee Aberdeen not here tonight to show that off as well. But still we get the very shiny gold to go with the sort of metallic grey that they have on these lovely looking Blade Speed Esports cars. They have definitely been the team to beat all season and have an unassailable lead at the top of the championship. I think the lead was that big that they could have 3 more meetings and still not be caught, or something stupid. It's a hell of a lead, but still, Fraser doing a good job there and getting himself ahead of his main championship rival. I just think the two of them would have hoped to be, maybe even on the front row there, Dara. It's a bit of a strange one, but hats off to Grassetto and Reeve. They're not normally right up there at the sharp end in qualifying.
I mean, Grassetto, I've just looked, has the 11th highest iRating of everyone out of the 18 here. So, I mean, it's not even in the top half in terms of the iRating. So, good lap times from them. I think that'll see a bit of a boost. But yeah, Reeve as well, getting up to the top 3. I think for Fraser and Aaron, off the start, though, the risk is, letting in the likes of Alex Fretwell and Sam Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, of course, as we've said, is almost racing for that P3 in the championship, and although he doesn't need too many points, I think he will still want to be able to get that in this opening race, and we could see some aggressive drives right behind our two championship contenders.
Absolutely, it's going to be a belter. Thiago Marteau will start on pole position. Fabio Grassetto at his home race alongside him. Jack Reeve and Fraser Smith make up row 2, with Aaron Smith and Alex Fretwell on row 3. Then it's Sam Fitzpatrick alongside Ben Chalcraft, car 8, P8. Martin Kenyon is in 9th place with John Tusting in 10th. Stuart Clark next up alongside Simon Price. Then we have David Whitehouse and Danny Weir. Philip Miles will start alongside Victor Oliveira, and Kevin Zemstra and Connor Hatfield will make up the back row of the grid after invalidating their lap times just earlier on. Well, here's the view back from Thiago Marteau in the Kalita Motorsport car. I think this is a view we're going to be looking at a bit over this race here, Dara. It seems like even with a mistake on that lap, he is well on the pace and well on the way to go and win this sprint.
Yeah, but he's got to be able to get down towards turn 1 in the lead, I think, really to feel safe. And, we've seen how aggressive Grassetto can be, especially given the opportunity. And this is a fantastic opportunity for him to try and possibly get the lead, get a win in the final round of the season on home soil as well. You can already see him practicing those aggressive starting manoeuvres, can't you?
Yeah.
Moving the wheels left and right. But, this is going to be a really quite, I think, important launch for everyone off the line. Fraser Smith almost doesn't want to be on the launch.
Yeah.
He's waiting to grid up. There he is. He'll be looking right at the back of Grassetto. It could all blow up into his face.
Here we go then. For the final time this season, we're about to get the sprint race underway, and round number 8 of the Formula CDM European Series from Imola gets underway, and it's a lovely start from Jack Reeve on the second row of the grid. He catches up with the Italian next to him, Fabio Grassetto, but Aaron Smith, importantly, has gotten ahead of Fraser Smith. Fraser drops a couple of places. Aaron sends it because he has to down the inside. He tries to make the move on Jack Reeve. Jack says no. Fretwell's gone through. He's had a great start. 2 places gained for him. All of a sudden, Fraser Smith back in front of his rival. Sam Fitzpatrick wants to make a move as well. Aaron is down the inside. Fraser gets out of that one. Fraser's lost 2 places. Alex has gained 2, and they've moved around him. Stuart Clark gaining 3. Fitzpatrick now down the inside. Whitehouse off in the background. A little bit of shenanigans there as well as they go around Tosa, but what a start that was for Thiago Marteau once again, Dara.
Yep, he's clear. Grassetto's got a lot of work to do after just about keeping himself ahead of Reeve. Interesting as we see Fitzpatrick down the inside of Fraser Smith. We have what is notionally 1, 2 and 3 in the championship at 5th, 6th and 7th right now. You wouldn't necessarily expect to see them there for the time being, and they're going to have to work their way through if they want the top points, but they firstly have to stop bickering between themselves. Fitzpatrick clearly faster though in the opening couple of sectors down Fraser Smith and was ready to make the move, but Fraser doesn't really want to allow Aaron to get too much further in front. The maths is looking very, very comfortable for him realistically, but it's never nice to feel that, that chance slipping away, even if ever so slightly.
Yeah, and the thing is as well, is Sam Fitzpatrick and Aaron Smith are good friends, so if the two of them want to help each other out, Sam will definitely help his mate at Apex out. Tusting has let Kevin Zemstra through. Kevin has gained 6 places in this opening lap, and he wants to make that more now as he gets into the slipstream of those in front of him. He's chasing down Ben Chalcraft, who's had a bit of a poor first lap. He's lost 2 places. Aaron Smith is getting ahead of Alex Fretwell as well, further up the order. Fraser Smith and Sam Fitzpatrick side by side just over the horizon. Zemstra's got to think about this. He's going to back out a little bit early here. No, he's not. He's going to go back down the inside of Stuart Clark. Thank you very much, he says. Battle going on between Sam Fitzpatrick and Fraser Smith. Got a little bit close there. But look how much these guys are leaving it. Fraser weaving around. I'm not sure if that's in protest or what. That's him saying no, please no. But interesting to say the least. Now let's have a little look back at the first lap. We'll come back to the battle in the background in just a moment. We'll have a look here at David Whitehouse and what happened to him, because he lost a few places. Apologies, we've gone a little bit early there. That's what happened to Whitehouse. So he's chasing down Zemstra side by side with, is that Chalcraft? That's Philip Miles. Oh, the car just misbehaves over the curb. Ooh, and he does well to not go in the wall there. There was another drama for Simon Price as well, Dara.
Let's see what happened to Simon down in towards Aqua Minerale. The double right-hander, it does bite if you go too far wide at the first part, and he's gone onto the grass. That's made the tyres a little bit dirty. Then he's panicked, turned in a bit early, and then it's all gone wrong from there. And yeah, those rear tyres weren't going to be happy coming out of the corner, particularly as you rise up the hill. and that's him around. What's happened to Tusting as well now into the little metric game?
Yeah, I think Tustin's going to have the same thing over that curb. Yeah, one way then the other. Around it goes. Oh, dearie me. And then Victor Oliveira has had the same thing. Whoa, that was close. Oh, my goodness me. That was nearly a ridiculous accident from Victor Oliveira. Tusting is already around. But look, he's had his own moment here. Let's have a look at how close this got. Oh, dearie me. I tell you, I think Tusting's pants would have been a different colour after that one. Oh, I mean, it's a scary enough incident because look how quickly the car breaks away. Bottoms out, goes one way, then the other. And then all of a sudden, while you're facing backwards, you're thinking, right, let's get this spun around and get going again. And all of a sudden, Victor, you can see he straightens up a little bit. Oh, dearie me. That's very scary.
You know that meme of the two people when they're looking at each other driving in the opposite direction?
Yes.
That's exactly what's just happened on the edge of the road. I mean, it almost like Oliveira locked on like a homing missile for a minute there, but they've managed to get away with it somehow. But it just goes through how dangerous that curb is on the outside line. And there are a couple of them here at Imola that if you do get onto it, these cars aren't really big enough to be able to cope with the, quite frankly, the height of the curb.
No.
And then it's difficult to control the car, and you're seeing it very clearly there. And once you put a little bit more fuel in the car, as they have here compared to what they had in qualifying, a little bit more difficult to control how much speed you take through the middle of that corner, which is why we're seeing a couple of drivers, I think, go a little bit wider.
Yeah, struggling a little bit, aren't they, in certain places. Fabio Grassetto's not struggling, though. We know he's fast, but he's absolutely turned it up a notch for this evening, chasing down Thiago Marteau for this race lead, doing a great job of it, too, for Wave Racing Tech. We've got Sam Fitzpatrick and Martin Kenyon near each other, but Zemstra is all over the back of Kenyon. In terms of the championship, Aaron Smith is 2 places ahead of Fraser right now. Aaron currently running in 4th place, Fraser Smith running in 6th. And as things stand, he will gain 2 points back on Fraser. So not a whole amount, but still better than losing the championship. It still keeps him in mathematical contention. Kevin round the outside of Martin, lovely move there in the Mirage Sport car, and this is going to help him out as well in terms of the reverse grid. Chalcraft now gets past Kenyon as well. Have some of that, he says. Kenyon now on for what will be reverse grid pole, but he doesn't want to give it up. He's lost 2 places. He doesn't want to lose another one now as Stuart Clark is suddenly all over the back of him. Some great fighting going on up and down the order, though, as we always see here in Formula CDM.
It was a great move by Zemstra around the outside. It was almost just textbook. Just pinned, I think, Kenyon far enough to the inside that he knew that he couldn't brake too late there. And was just then able to have the freedom of the corners of exactly where the limit was going to be for him. We'll see it here on board, getting in that slipstream, getting to what would be the outside line. But because of the nature of this straight, you're just shortened off by a couple of extra metres in the first part. Of course, it comes back to the left again. But just braking that little bit later, leaving far more than a car from the inside. And just being able to drive around the outside, knew where the limit of the circuit was going to be, and that's almost the safety of going on the outside line. Yes, you've got the car on the inside, but if you trust them, you're going to know exactly how much speed you can take through the middle of that corner, and that's the benefit. There's
been a drama. There's been an drama. Thiago Marteau has gone over the curb, and he has lost it at the Variante Alta. Fabio Grassetto takes the lead, but he had a slowdown penalty to serve as a result, and now, no, sorry Stuart, we don't want to look at you. We've got Fabio Grassetto leading Jack Reeve. Aaron Smith is now up to 3rd. Alex Fretwell is 4th. Thiago Marteau, though, importantly, is still ahead of Fraser Smith. And Sam Fitzpatrick is still putting pressure on Fraser. He's not got it all his own way here as Mr. Smith this time round. And I mean Fraser, not Aaron. But yeah, Thiago Marteau with a very uncharacteristic error has dropped him out of the race lead and put into the race lead the hometown hero, Fabio Grassetto. He's had 5 DNFs in the last 7 races, has Fabio. And I tell you what, this would be a hell of a way to turn that misfortune around, wouldn't it?
It would. I mean, he's got Jack Reeve chasing him now, and that's 2 names that I don't think I would have expected to say 7.5 minutes into this race to be funny for the race win. But they've got here through great qualifying laps and through a little bit of fortune with Marteau going around. They're coming now through Acqua Minerale. You can just about see that it is difficult to rotate the car through there. It does get a bit bumpy when you get to the base of the corner, which can really affect these cars. Are they going to make the same mistake Kia did last lap? Oh!
You cursed that, didn't you?
me. I would have felt awful if he actually went around. I was expecting to say no, but Jack had other ideas.
Yeah, Jack said, "Oh, I'll tickle it. I'll give it and tickle. I'll show you." Wow, scary.
It's the very anti-Altan, isn't it, up there?
Yeah. Flipping out. I think it's got a new name now, isn't it? Is it the Grassini chicane now? I mean, I'm never going to call it that. It's always going to be Variante Alta. But I think it might be the Grassini chicane. Either that or I'm thinking of another circuit. But, yeah, Thiago Marteau well in the slipstream now of Alex Fretwell. Alex stays over to the left-hand side. Keo tries to go around the outside, outbreaks him, and wow, what a move by Thiago Marteau. What about behind? Sam Fitzpatrick is now ahead of Fraser Smith. But Fraser knows he could just take this easy for the rest of the night. He could sit behind some of these guys, play the game into the feature, and, well, let's try and do some maths, shall we? So, Aaron right now in third would score 9 points. Fraser would score 4 points. So that would change the difference to be 25 points, which would mean that Fraser would only have to finish 11th in the feature race. So he's still got an easy job, even if he doesn't have a great run here. As White House, well, something else house, has put it in the wall, unfortunately. Let's have a look at how he's done that. What do you reckon, Dara? Bottomed out over a curb?
Almost certainly. I mean, you can't park there, can you, really? That's why he's trying to move it.
It's the politest way I've ever heard anyone say that meme.
Let's see. Oh, it's almost late onto the curb as well, but that is a real hefty hit. There was no catching that. His rear wing is rolling away like a tyre there. Never seen that before. But yeah, again, that curb just biting. Fraser Smith, what's happened to him? Oh, it's just wide for... is that Fitzpatrick? It is. Going through the Variante Alta. And, well, Fraser Smith says thank you very much, and that makes the maths even easier for him.
Yeah, there is David Whitehouse's Grinnell Scorpion, or whatever it was called, that is in the pit lane. 3 wheels on his wagon. Look at the pace of Thiago Marteau here. He's right back up behind Aaron Smith again right now. Aaron will obviously want to hold on to this position as best he can, because it's an extra championship point over the likes of Fraser and Sam. But at the same time, he's just got to think about the bigger picture here. Does he want to fight with Keo too much? Well, he's not going to get the chance. Whoa, no, it's wanting to go still because the rear tyres are hot. That could have been championship over there.
Yeah, could have been. And that's the point, I think. You just have to bring it home. It doesn't necessarily require... forced overtakes. Yeah, it may not be, particularly fun to just happily sit in 7th or wherever you may be, but goodness me, yeah, you've just got to be able to apply enough pressure, and again, even through Tozer, apply enough pressure, but not overdo it, because it can so easily go wrong with it. We've seen it a few times. We nearly saw it again there. But yeah, it's a difficult balancing act to I think, manage, particularly with Alex Fretwell right behind you.
Yeah, it doesn't make it easier when you've got the likes of Alex breathing down your neck. So certainly a high pressure environment. 3.5 minutes to go here, and Fabio Grassetto is continuing to lead this race. He and fellow green helmet enthusiast Jack Reeve are the top 2 in this race. Jack, again though, just look at this. Just behind Jack, 7 tenths back is Thiago Marteau. It seems like every car, it's rendered in its shadow in the form of that Killita Motorsport car. It's just always there.
Yeah, it's just lurking all the time. You can never really shake it away, can you? And that's not exactly a fun feeling to have, is it? But as you run your way through the opening couple of corners, that's Fraser Smith. Sam Fitzpatrick made the move, went too deep, going over the curb. We'll have that slow down, but we'll lose out the position. But also drag a load of gravel onto the circuit as well. Like a garden centre down there at turn 3, but I think everyone will be able to avoid it. Zwemstra has worked his way up to 8th. He'll be on reverse grid P3 for the time being, with the little mistakes that we're seeing, ahead. You can't rule out much. You can't rule out him getting more at the end of this race.
No, exactly. He's having a really good race, is Kevin. Nicely managed from the back of the grid. He was very frustrated after the Red Bull Ring. He had that incident with Jack Reeve. It was ruled as a racing incident, that just the two of them both wanted to leave each other room, but also sort of squeeze a bit at the same time, and then they just sort of magnetised together. Speaking of magnetising together, Jack Reeve and Thiago Marteau have probably 1 lap left in this race, and they are absolutely together for second position. Cars 2 and 22 Not sure how Keogh is going to be about having a go at Jack here. They're both pushing clearly. I'm not sure if he'll want to sit behind and say, you know what, I'm not in a championship fight here, but with all due respect, neither is Jack. Keogh is, he's toying with him. He's thinking about it. Gets close in the slipstream, but he's going to set this up for turn 1, surely.
Yeah, you think so. As he runs his way through the final corner, very aggressive on the inside line. But goodness me, look at that exit. I mean, he passed we can get past the the safety car line. He obviously has to make sure it's done by turn 1, but he's gone, isn't he? They're on to the final lap of the. Oh, are they?
Ooh,
are they
it's
on to the final lap?
close.
We'll have to find out. We are talking like a second or two, aren't we? Here comes Reed back around the outside, though. He isn't going to let this one go easily, but Keogh's got the move done into turn 1. Can he chase after Grosseto? I think realistically, Fabio should almost strategically slow down here, because I think if he does, he'll make sure that this is the last lap.
Yeah, I think Fabio has to think about it. Nearly contact there with Fraser Smith and Sam Fitzpatrick. Fraser doesn't need to fight this too hard, because all he's going to do is make his job harder in the feature race if he does push this limit here with Sam. Sam is going to push his buttons. He's going to try it. Sam knows where to squeeze. He knows how to push the buttons. It's a great fight, but Fraser doesn't need to be doing this. He's doing this over 1 championship point. If he loses out, he's going to lose a hell of a lot more than that if he's out of the race. So this is brave stuff from the two of them. Fraser down the inside, and he's got back in front, but for how long? What about this man, though? Fabio Grosseto. Well, he may have inherited that lead, but I tell you what, he's had a bit of a nightmare in the second half of the season. He's about to come through. Oh, nice voice break. He's about to come through and potentially win his home race.
Yeah, he might. Let's see. I think 20 seconds. Yeah, I think he'll get to the line, right? You'd think. You won't go around for one more. He can definitely control it either way. But this has been a stellar drive from him. Even with Keogh's mistake, almost handing this to him in a silver platter, he won't care. He's given absolutely superbly.
Fantastic stuff. Fabio Grosseto around the final corner, takes his first win of the season and does it on home soil. Grosseto wins. Keogh Thiago Marto second. Jack Reeve is third. Aaron Smith is going to come home in 4th place. Fraser Smith, God, the cameraman's making me dizzy. Fraser Smith comes home in 6th position ahead of Sam Fitzpatrick. Kevin Zemstra, what a drive, son. What a drive indeed. Chalcraft just beats Kenyon to the line in the end. And those two will form the front row for race 2 a little bit later. But what about Fabio Grosseto? Sure, there was a mistake by Keogh Thiago Marto that gave him the lead, but he still had to hold on and get it to the end there, Dara. And that, well, it's a hell of a way to win your first race of the season, that, especially at home.
Yeah, it's been really up and down, particularly the last couple of weeks, but season in general as well. But absolutely nailing it here, isn't he? And he will have to start from the mid-pack for race number 2, but he won't really care because he's not fighting for that championship. And he's got that accolade of a win right at the end of the season in his home race. It couldn't have really gone much better for him throughout that A qualifying session and B sprint race, because he didn't really put a foot wrong all race along.
No, absolutely not. Brilliant result that is. Fabio Grosseto wins, then takes the 15 points from the sprint. Keogh Thiago Marto finishes second after a great recovery drive. Jack Reeve in third for, I think, his first sprint podium of the season. That's his first podium of the season. Congrats to Jack Reeve. Aaron Smith finishes 4th, 7 points for him. Alex Fretwell finishes 5th ahead of Fraser Smith. So the gap is now 28 points between Aaron and Fraser. We'll confirm that in just a moment. Sam Fitzpatrick 7th ahead of Kevin Zemstra, Ben Chalcraft and Martin Kenyon. They are the final points finishers. Then we have Stuart Clark, Danny Weir and Philip Miles, with John Tusting 14th, Connor Hatfield in 15th. Simon Price was the final finisher ahead of David Whitehouse and Victor Oliveira. If you bear with me 1 second, we will retrieve the data from that sprint race and we should be able to bring you the championship standings after the sprint. Yes, that's how they look. So Fraser Smith on 206 points after scoring 5 in that one, and Aaron Smith on 178. So 28 points in it. There are 30 available for the final race of the season. So mathematically, it is still possible. But what it does mean is that with the point system as they are, Fraser just needs to finish in 13th place to get this job done. So, seeming like quite an easy one, Dara, but stranger things have happened, haven't they?
Yeah, and it only takes something to go wrong right at the start of the race for almost that confidence to unravel, and then you're overdriving the car to get back into a better situation, and then you make another mistake. So there is risk for Fraser. It's not all said and done. There's that battle for P5 to look out for as well. Hoyland versus Marteau for 5th in the championship, and for 10th as well. Childcraft or Grassetto almost certainly going to claim that position. So a couple of other fights up and down the field that may change hands, and the top 5 and the top 10 are relatively significant markers.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, they are certainly their own little sort of fence posts, so to speak. But we're going to go quiet for just a few minutes here while the warm-up session gets underway here at Imola. So if you bear with us, Dara and I will be right back with you for the final feature race of the season in the Formula CDM European Series. Hello again, everybody. Chaz Draycott and Dara Thacker here for the final round of the Formula CDM European Series. We're here at Imola for the last round of the championship, and we are having a belter of a time so far, aren't we, Dara? A very interesting and exciting first race with a bit of everything, and a first-time winner on home soil, Fabio Grassetto.
Did you expect anything less, really, Chaz? I mean, coming to Imola, championship finale. It's been a great season so far. This has been a great way to kick off the evening once again. Maybe a little bit more caution, that maybe thrown into the wind at the start of a longer 40-minute race rather than a sprint 15-minute race. But still, I think there's going to be a lot of ambition off the start, particularly if you're like the likes of Fabio Grassetto, who was first in the opening race and therefore will start in 10th. You're going to feel like you can move forward, and the best way to do that is to do it on the opening lap. So I think that opening lap's going to be pretty busy, particularly when you have those concertina points down into Tamburello, down into Villeneuve, and even at Tosa as well. So it's going to be a cracking start to race 2.
It absolutely will be. We're going to have to talk about the maths as the race goes on. So for Sam Fitzpatrick to get third in the championship, he just needs to score 2 points to guarantee himself ahead of Lee Aberdeen. To do that, he only needs to finish in 14th position. Fraser Smith needs to score 3 points to outdo Aaron Smith's potential maximum, because if he just scores 3 and Aaron takes the win, Fraser will still be 1 point ahead. So, simple as that. If he gets to 209, Aaron can only get to 208 at most. Even if they were tied on points, Fraser has more race victories, so he would win the title. So right now, the two drivers that we saw fighting earlier, as we've just been discussing off air, Sam Fitzpatrick and Fraser Smith, they only need to finish 13th and 14th next to each other. Is that a sign?
Maybe. Very well, maybe. Not exactly the outcome we're expecting, right? But you've got to prepare for all eventualities, don't you? Before a race such as this, anything can happen. It is Imola. It could all go wrong in such a brief moment. We saw that with drivers going over the curb at Villeneuve and spinning up that rear end and hitting into the wall. So you're going to be very much prepared for the start of the race, which is coming up very shortly. Is that car's going to plop off the circuit? Is it? Maybe? No, it's... Yeah, there we go. It's done.
I don't
if I waited 1 more second, it would have been great.
I don't like showing it, so I go to a scenic camera just to avoid seeing it. Although you see them all disappear from the pit lane, so who am I trying to fool? Watch the crowd. They'll do it. Ready? Wait for it. And there you go. Suddenly everyone turned up. It's rammed here for the final race of the season. We're buzzing for this. It's 40 minutes long, though, so it's not going to be as much of a flash in the pan. Martin Kenyon and Ben Chalcraft start on the front row. Kevin Zemstra starts in third place, hoping to get his first win of the season, with Sam Fitzpatrick hoping to get third in the championship. Fraser Smith hoping to take the title from 5th on the grid, with Alex Fretwell next up. Aaron Smith is in 7th, with Jack Reeve in 8th. Thiago Marteau starts 9th, alongside Race 1 winner Fabio Grassetto. Then it's Stuart Clark alongside Danny Weir. Philip Miles and John Tusting make up the 7th row. Connor Hatfield and Simon Price make up row 8. Then it's David Whitehouse and Victor Oliveira, the two drivers that didn't finish in the earlier race in the sprint. We've got 2 Flaxton Sport cars near the front of the grid, but Martin Kenyon's got this rather nerve-wracking view down towards turn 1 here, Dara.
Yep, and especially after finishing race 1 in P10, you don't necessarily know how the start's going to go. You just want to get that launch away, just protect yourself into the opening corner, and then hope to fight from there. There's nothing worse than being swamped into turn 1.
Key detail, Aaron Smith has not taken to the grid. So for the final time this season, we're underway in the Formula CDM European Series, and it's a lovely start by Martin Kenyon, but look at Kevin Zemstra go. What a launch from him. He moves over to the left, overtakes Ben Chalcraft, then goes over to the right. He's going to try and go around the outside of Kenyon. There's Chalcraft. Into the back of him goes Fretwell. Oh, Ben, it was just never meant to be. It was never meant to be. Kenyon is in 3rd place now, with Sam Fitzpatrick, his teammate, taking up 2nd. Fraser Smith round the outside, tries to take the place. He's got it done, as is the contact behind between Jack Reeve and Kenyon. There nearly was. Fabio Grassetto in the mix as well. Aaron Smith has got going. He's decided to start from the pit lane for some reason. Not quite sure what the situation is, but Aaron Smith, hoping to take the title here in this race, starts from the pit lane. Ben Chalcraft has already got a meatball flag. And that is, I mean, that just sums up Ben's season, really, doesn't it?
Yep, and yeah, another great start and down into turn 1. Grassetto, though, aggressive. Whoa, that's going to be very bold if he gets past Kenyon into Acqua Minerale. There, he's on the exit, careful. Taps the rear end. Through goes Thiago Marteau. And look who's the next car up behind him. It's Danny Weir. He started down in 12th. He's up into 8th. Great start from him. Similarly good start for Simon Price. He's up in 10th, up 6th. Kenyon with that black and orange flag. Was that the contact from Grosseto? I'm not too sure, but he was on pole position. And it's all gone on for him as well.
He's flipping heck. I think he's that miffed at the fact that he's got damage. He's suddenly just lost his eyesight. Don't know what's happened there. He just turned across the front of Thiago Marteau. I'm not sure if the damage is affecting the steering or not. It looks like it is actually. Yeah, it's not behaving itself. But that tiny tap is all it takes. And the car is damaged and out of the race. Zemstra leads us. Then it's Fitzpatrick, Smith and Reeve. Very interesting top 4 indeed. Sam Fitzpatrick with a demon start. He's gained 2 places just as Zemstra has as well. And these two, I'm sure, will be battling until the end. Zemstra hoping to do everything he can to take his first victory of the season in the Formula CDM European Series. He's had multiple second places and third places, 4 podium visits this season for Kevin Zemstra, but no win. Whitehouse having a bit of a drama. Oh, he's done it again. He's in that wall for the second time. I think he had a bit of a connection problem there because the car blinked in and out very suddenly. Flippin' heck, it's all go again, Dara. It's 40 minutes this, not 4.
Yeah, I mean, Whitehouse is getting the full, Hammond description of oversteer, understeer, isn't he? He went backwards into that barrier the first time. He's gone forwards into it this time. We'll have to ask him which one's better by the end, but he won't be very happy with the black and orange flag himself. The top 10 right now, their grid positions were 3rd, 4th, 5th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, 16th, 11th and 13th. So you've got a few drivers who are right at the sharp end who are now completely out of the picture, that being Kenyon and Chalcraft, who were the front row, now 16th and 17th. Fretwell and Smith, of course, Smith didn't take the start, but they were, bills to start in 6th and 7th. So they've tumbled down the order. It's just given a chance to some other drivers to score some points. And going back to that conversation we had right at the top of the show, Chaz, about Danny Weir and how many points that he could score and Emka could score. At least in 7th. That's a ton of points for him.
Yeah, he's having a fantastic time. He's Danny Weir right now. Up there in 7th, 5 places gained. We were just on board with Simon Price there, who's the biggest mover in the field so far. 8 places gained for Simon in the Team Verde machine. Grosseto overtaking Thiago Marteau. He's showing us it's not just a one-off. He wants to get back past him without Keo making a mistake. Through he goes. Thank you very much. Keo's going to get the run on him now, as is the slipstream moves to the right-hand side. Nicely calculated as they head up towards the Villeneuve chicane. Because of the camber of these cars, they nearly just ended up rubbing wheels and rubbing the tyre lettering off each other. Keo's going to have his work cut out here, though, trying to get past Fabio. He's going to defend like his life depends on it. Further up the road, though, look at this battle for the lead.
I think it suits the two of them there, Grosseto and Marteau, to almost just run as they are for a couple of laps, because they will have the pace to catch this front 4, of which Fraser Smith is part of. Not really where Fraser Smith wants to be, I don't think, in a train of 4 for the lead of the race, because he's got 3 other drivers around him who are going to be desperate for that race win. He's just desperate for P13, and that's not exactly being in P3 around those 3 guys is not exactly where you'd want to be, given his situation. Zemstra looking back, little mistake there was throughout Caminarale, but he's kept it together up towards the Variante Alta. I did have a check of, I did do an Google search a minute ago, and you were right, it was renamed the Grassini Corner, but that was 4 years ago, and I hadn't heard about it until tonight.
Oh God, yeah, I remember when I think I was commentating on Clio Cup Europe there, and somebody said Grassini, not Variante, and I was like, oh, okay, sorry. When was I going to get told of this? I think that was 2022.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll never call it that. It's always, for me, it's going to be Variante Alta. It's like the final corner at Monza. It's not Curva di Alboreto. Shut up. Sam Fitzpatrick around the outside of Kevin Zemstra into the first chicane. What a move by the Flaxen Sport driver. Into the lead he goes. Kevin tries to get a cutback on him to make this work. This is all going to be making Fraser Smith a little bit nervous here. No, forwards. It's going to make him a little bit nervous because he doesn't want to get involved in any incidents here. He just wants to bring the car home and take the championship. Aaron Smith is down in 14th position, quite ironically, the position behind where Fraser needs to be. So as long as Fraser finishes at this point, well, it's going to be all right.
I mean, doesn't Aaron need to win anyway?
Yeah.
Regardless of what happens. So, I mean, realistically, he's the one that's got 34 minutes to gain 22 seconds and 13 positions, which it's going to be difficult. I think it's fair to say, Jack Reeve maybe having a go at Fraser Smith. It's just a poor exit from the man with all 10 fingers and about 8 toes on that championship prize for the time being. But he can't let those other 2 slip away or allow the car to slip around him, because that will not give him a comfortable ride to the end. But look who's rocking up to the back of these four, Grosseto and Marteau. That gap a lap ago was 3 seconds down, under 2 now.
Yeah, they're starting to reel them in, aren't they? Naturally as well with the slipstream here, they are going to get dragged along. Philip Miles, I was just about to say, is having a good race, and he's just had a slowdown penalty up at the chicane. Just running a little bit wide there, but still, he's not out of the race, so he's still cracking on. The Hikawa racing driver has had a bit of a topsy-turvy season. I think for the first half of the season, he didn't finish a single feature race, so he didn't exactly have the best time of it. Fitzpatrick and Zemstra side by side again. They're going to reignite this battle now, Dara.
Here we go, towards turn 1, Zemstra on the outside, Fitzpatrick on the inside, and Sam just almost backing out a little bit. Inside line though for Jack Reeve, he's not backing out of that one at all. And Fraser Smith almost just ushers him through, doesn't want to get involved in too much of an incident. But by doing that, Grosseto and Marteau are now there. Marteau's going to have an inside line as they work their way in towards the Villeneuve chicane. We saw Grosseto with that inside line before, but in the end he just about is able to cover it off on that outside line. But look at the run in towards Tosa. Oh, huge moment from Fraser Smith. How did he keep that out of the barrier? I'm not too sure.
I think that came at the perfect time for Fraser Smith, if anything. Wow, I'm not sure if he actually dived out of the way there on purpose or not. That was mad. But that certainly looked scary, didn't it? Flipping heck. Let's go on board with Fabio Grosseto and see how he saw this. Fraser loves a little dart and a wiggle around there. He's probably too preoccupied trying to show his displeasure at others that he's put himself off the road. Runs a little bit wide over the curb. Yeah, gets away. What a save. What a save. We'll go on board and see that because, I mean, you have to. That was... Yeah, look, he's throwing it about. I don't know why. I mean, at the end of the day, he doesn't need to fight Jack Reeve, but still, that's an epic save. That is an epic save. Both championship protagonists have had that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, and dealt with it differently, didn't they? Which is interesting. But yeah, he absolutely smashed that brake pedal. You can see that he locked up the tyres just to try and get it slowed down. Clearly panicking about that wall, would be a bit of a fool not to, right? With it being that close and having already bitten a few of the drivers this evening. Grosseto continues to go very quickly indeed. He'll have the outside line towards turn 1 on Jack Reeve. P3 is up for grabs and he sweeps around the outside. Nice. That's an incredible move from Grosseto. He was P2 on the grid in qualifying. Race 1, already up to P3 from P10 in race 2. Not even 9 minutes have gone.
He's absolutely flying tonight, is Fabio Grosseto. He's really turned it on in front of his home crowd here in Italy. What a guy. He's absolutely loving it. Thiago Marteau dives down the inside of Jack Reeve. Has to get out of that one as Jack firmly shuts the door in his face. I've just noticed that we've got 9 different teams in the top 9 positions. That's very tasty, isn't it? Unfortunately, John Tusting is the one ruining the symmetry by running in 10th place. If he lost a place to Connor Hatfield and Simon Price, we'd have 11 in the top 11, which would be very, very fitting. Unfortunately, Darrington, Francis and Dragonfly competition not inside those top few positions. Whitehouse and Oliveira having difficult nights. I feel sorry for this guy. Listen how quiet it is around Ben Chalcraft. Again, contact from behind at the start of the race. We haven't even looked back at that yet. Shall we have a look?
I think we should, personally. We said we would have a look at it. It's only taken us about 9 minutes. It's been action up to this point, isn't it? Here's Fretwell then, outside line. Teammate to Danny Weir, of course, who was going very well indeed at the moment. Oh, well, he just brakes too late, gets on the grass, and that just makes it even worse. And, well, we're only, 29 days away from Christmas? I don't think there's going to be cars exchange there.
No, definitely not. What's interesting here, though, is that after all of the dramas behind, the top 2 have started to break away here. Kevin Zemstra and Sam Fitzpatrick both doing personal bests on that last lap as the cars get lighter and the tyres continue to get hotter. The two of them are really flying, and they're a couple of tenths of a second faster than Grosseto and then Marteau behind, but we'll see what Grosseto can do with a lap of clear air in front of him. We've had a drama for Aaron Smith, unfortunately. He's been off the road. I'm not sure if this is just going to be him hitting the curb or something. Oh, seems to have a drama on the way in. Oh, yes. He's kept out of the barrier, which is the main thing, but it's not looking good, is it?
No, the maths isn't adding up really for him at the moment. Here is Grosseto. This is live pictures. Grosseto just defending from Thiago Marteau as they run their way in towards Aqua Minerale. That gap only about a second now, less than between Fitzpatrick and Grosseto. He is reeling them in, and Marteau is just well, he's just hopped on the train, isn't he? Right behind him and is just following him through for the time being. It'd feel a bit, feel a bit mean, wouldn't it, if Marteau uses Grosseto all the way up to the back. A big moment there for Grosseto, and then decides to overtake the Italian right at the end of the race. But he's going to take the race win if he can. He's fighting for P5 in the championship despite not being here for a couple of evenings over the course of this season. There's the top 4 again, very close together. I mean, the fact that we have the top 6 separated by less than 3 seconds, and then the gap to 7th being more than 10, really shows how competitive the front end of this race has been, and where that gap is of the drivers that should have been on this front train should be, but sadly aren't.
Well, it's going to be interesting as well, because that's a good gap for these guys to slot back into if they play the pit stop game right. They need to think about strategy soon. We're on to lap 8 now, so drivers are permitted to jump into the pits anytime from the end of lap 8 onwards. So we will start seeing pit stops soon. Grosseto is moving over to the left there, and I don't know why, trying to scare off Thiago Marteau, but he's a Williams eSports driver. He's seen it all before. He knows how the game's played, and he's trying to mug Grosseto by going around the outside into tow. So he gets a big old slide, and unfortunately it doesn't work. He's going to be a bit frustrated at that, because Grosseto, again, I don't know why he moved over, but he's one of these drivers that feels the need to, like almost as if he has to send the message. As Jack Reeve had a bit of a wiggle there, nearly collected the back of Fraser Smith. I think Jack is going to be very conscious right now that he's got potential championship winner in front of him. He doesn't want to ruin his night regardless of what Aaron Smith is doing.
Yeah, very true indeed. And I think for Grosseto, I think we know that he is a proactive driver when it comes to trying to make some moves. And I think part of that will come into the fact that if he himself was in Marteau's shoes, almost certainly would have gone for the move there. So I think in defence, he would do something very similar and to try and ward off exactly what he would do in this scenario. Save it towards the two Rabatzas, being defended a bit too hard, a bit too deep. Marteau has teed him up absolutely beautifully and slips into P3. Grosseto now has to be careful. Well, not of Fraser Smith, but of Jack Reeve now, because Smith's into the pit lane at the earliest opportunity. Let's see where he pops out of the pit lane. That could be an important theme to watch for the others.
Yeah, there's a couple of cars that are separated by a few seconds further back, but yeah, I don't think he's going to slot into the big gap that he's going to want to. He may be behind the likes of John Tustin, Connor Hatfield, maybe even where Alex Fretwell is, I think. Although Fretwell is already coming down the start-finish straight, I think actually Fraser is going to slot into a gap, but it's just not the one we expected. He's going to come out here now, look. He's rolling down the pit lane. Oh, he's got a lovely, lovely bit of clean air here. That is very tasty. Look at that. He's got 7 seconds ahead of him. And then he's got, well, Aaron Smith is actually the car right behind him now, funnily enough, but still 2 and a bit seconds the distance between those two. It's just, it's a bit of a shame that that's how it's formed. It's a bit of a, as Aaron's had a moment. It's a bit of a shame, that, isn't it?
Yeah, but what positions are they in, Charles? 13th and 14th, right? What we were talking about earlier. So in a way, we've got what we got somehow where we were thinking after 14 and a half minutes. It's not going to stay that way, obviously, but for the time being at least. Smith's got a nice gap to drive into, and if Fretwell and Price pit in the next couple of laps, that is going to open up a beautiful advantage for him. Meanwhile, yeah, let's look back at this, because Grosseto's got back ahead of Marteau. Of course, he got overtaken into the final couple of corners. And while we were looking at that pit stop, he just used the slipstream, latched onto the back, towed himself to the back of Marteau, and then slingshotted past him in towards turn 1. Easy as you like. Well, not really, a bit of a roundabout way to get there, but he keeps P3 for the time being. Yeah,
Marteau certainly knew what the score was there. He didn't want to fight that one too hard. Sorry Fabio, just want to have a look at this again, because Marteau sent him for, well, I was going to say a hot dog, but he sent him for a calzone here, didn't he? Look at that. It's just so meticulously planned by Marteau. That is one of the moves of the season, that is. He knew exactly what was going to happen there, and he has played a masterstroke on that one. He's come into the pits, says Marteau, and Jack Reeve as well. They're both back out of the pits now, so I'm intrigued to see where Fraser Smith ends up in this. Marteau is already out onto the circuit. What on earth? Wow. I thought Fraser would... Yeah, I thought Fraser would have quite the undercut, but yeah, he was in the pits for almost identical amount of time as Jack Reeve. Very strange. I think they have all taken tyres as well, because it's nearly 7 seconds a pop. Although Marteau's just gone very slowly out of the first chicane, so now they are back together.
Yeah, I think it's that getting up to speed towards turn 1 that takes quite a lot of time out, and also, of course, the warm up for these guys as well of those tyres, especially if they've taken those new ones. You can see a bit slidey there for Reeve as we go up towards Piratella. Difficult braking zone because the corner is blind until about there at the 100-metre board, but inside line for Fraser Smith. He's sticking his nose down the inside. Wide goes Jack Reeve, but now he's going to have the inside line towards Aqua Minerale. Fraser Smith is not in the advantageous position and will back out of that into the corner. With the wise move to make in the end, but trying to make a move work at the moment, but it's not working out just yet. Danny Weir, by the way, tries his 4th. Goodness me.
Aaron Smith has just had a drama into Aqua Minerale, and it looks like Jack Reeve has let Fraser Smith go there. Very interestingly, they did bang wheels on their way up to the chicane. But yeah, Mr. Weir, absolutely on it at the moment is Danny. Great stuff. 4th position for him. Stuart Clark into the pits. And we look back again at our lead battle between Kevin Zemstra and Sam Fitzpatrick. Sam took a single race victory earlier on in the season at Zolder in that infamous feature race where we had the huge pile-up that took out half of the field. And since then, Sam he's had actually 3 visits to the podium. He's had 2 second places in the last 2 race meetings as well. So he's in form at the minute, is Sam. And he just needs to finish, like we said, in 14th place overall here to get back up into 3rd place in the championship. Fabio Grassetto is just looking to round out a great evening here in the Wave Racing Tech car. It seems like when his teammate Matt Hoyland isn't here to crash into, he's really fast. Ooh!
It's not exactly the way you'd want to run it all the way, though, is it? Making sure your teammate isn't here just so you don't crash. But hey, if it works, right? You've got to take the small wins. Grassetto onto the back of Fitzpatrick and Zemstra. Does he decide now's a good time to pit, or does he do whatever the others in front don't do? Because he'd almost start to get held up a little bit by these two if they were all to stay out, or if they were all to come in. So let's see what he does out of the final corner. Fretwell picks up a slowdown penalty somewhere out there on the circuit, probably towards Aqua Minerale. No one comes in. Oh, there we go. See, he was waiting to see if they were going to come in. Saw that they weren't, and Grassetto does the opposite and comes into the pit lane. Where will he come out against Marteau?
Good stuff that by Grassetto. I was expecting that he was going to stick with them for a lap because you can't outweigh the slipstream, surely. But then again, through the twisty stuff, you do have to slow down. Danny Weir coming into the pits as well. What about Philip Miles behind him? No. John Tusting? No. Connor Hatfield? No. He moves through into 7th position. Simon Price is then ahead of Alex Fretwell. These two coming into the pits. Both of them slowing it down. Thiago Marteau now next up. Looks like he's breaking away from Fraser Smith a little bit here. Jack Reeve has lost a lot of time somewhere. Jack Reeve has had a spin. We'll look back at that, but the car ahead is Fabio Grassetto. Look how far ahead he is of Thiago Marteau.
I think there's going to be a lot of time gained for Marteau in this opening sector, but no, not
Maybe
enough,
not.
especially if you take that line. He's still hanging on. Just about to keep it under control. Fraser Smith now the car behind him because of this. Into Aqua Minerale, Jack Reeve, that rear end starting to dance around into the entry. Got it back under control, went too wide, tried to get it back underneath him and facing the wrong way.
Oh, that's scary for Aaron Smith. I mean, there was nothing Jack could do. The car ended up where it ended up, but flipping heck. That was very scary for Aaron, especially when you're in a potential championship fight in the final round of the season. I know that realistically right now it's looking very Fraser Smith, but look at this. I mean, you see the smoke. Where is the car? That's terrifying. Absolutely terrifying, but still, he's through and he's survived it. Right, top 2. Ooh, Fitzpatrick carries on. Zemstra into the pits. Sam Fitzpatrick thinks, right, stuff it. I'm going to go 1 lap more. We are just over the halfway point of the race, so Sam is just going now for the shortest possible pit stop he can by going an extra lap or so. Connor Hatfield is behind John Tusting. These guys still yet to pit as well. Philip Miles just ahead of them as well. Not pitting just yet. We'll keep an eye on Zemstra though and see where he comes out, because obviously there's a number of cars that he needs to think about here, Dara.
Yep, and Grassetto being one of them. I think Grassetto was delighted that those 3 coming into the pit lane meant that he could kind of get away scot-free. Where is he? I think he's going to come around the inside. There he is, just about. And Grassetto's in front. He's jumped Zemstra in the pit sequence. And remember, Fitzpatrick was behind Kevin Zemstra when Kevin decided to pop into the pit lane. So this is looking very good for Fabio Grassetto. Hadn't won a race this season, but maybe doing the double.
Aaron Smith entered the pits, but Yeah, I was going to say, it put him a lap behind then. Yeah, that was weird. Sorry. It just really, really confused me then. It said he was a lap behind, so I was really confused because on the timing tower it put him ahead by a lap. I thought he'd retired. I thought that was game over completely. He's still in it to win it, but yeah, it's a big old shame. Connor Hatfield running in 11th for now. As he goes over the curb, that scares the life out of me. Stuart Clark and Martin Kenyon, the next 2 cars just ahead of him. Hats off to Connor. He's been a lovely guy about running in the Spontex CDM Esports colours this season. Thiago Marteau has just passed Kevin Zemstra. Zemstra was going slowly for a second there. What was that about? Zemstra's lost a lot of time. We're going to quickly look back at this. So Zemstra is ahead. He's just going to have a drama on the exit, I think. Yes, he's kissed the curb. Ooh. Wow, I mean, Keogh nearly has an accident all on his own, doesn't he? Flipping heck.
Almost in sympathy, really,
Yeah.
in that moment. Here's Fitzpatrick coming out of the pit lane. There's Grosseto. Grosseto has the lead, or will do when they get up to speed. Here he is, going faster ahead. And the home hero is winning the race now, as he was winning the race in race number 1. Now we're seeing a bit of a battle between Zemstra and Fraser Smith. Fraser Smith's just kind of been there, isn't he? He's not made a mistake in this race so far. Everyone around him is either making mistakes or pulling off some blinders of some moves, but he's doing exactly what he needs to do to bring this title home. Doesn't need to do anything special. Outside of Victor Oliveira, who didn't really start this race at all, he's the only driver to be in the position that he started in at the moment.
Yeah. Unfortunately for Victor, not having the best of times, as Philip Miles has been off the road, recovers, but he's lost a place to Danny Weir, Martin Kenyon, Stuart Clark wants a piece of this. Some of these guys, with no disrespect intended, you know, some of these guys aren't the biggest point scorers this season, but they're all inside, just outside of the top 10, and they're having a really good time of it. This is the thing, you very often get this, and we understand that, you know, the lowest attendance is usually in the final round of the season. That is the case here this season, I think. Actually, no, we had a round with 17 cars, not 18, earlier on in the championship. But it's a great opportunity for drivers like this to just score those extra points to gain them the few places on the final night. And look at them all go.
Yep, I mean, this is a great little tussle, isn't it? Right in the midfield. It's from, 7th all the way back to 12th. You can maybe start to include Tusting and Tusting and Fretwell in that as well. Move up in front. That's Kenyon trying to make the magic happen on Philip Miles. Miles is going to go deep. Danny Weir's having a bit of a drama out in the front. Then you've got Stuart Clark coming through. And then there's Connor Hatfield, who he's not going to mind. He's got the day off tomorrow, being Thanksgiving. So he's having a lovely time at the end of this week. Right behind this battle, he's watching it in front with popcorn already in hand. Goodness me, inside line in the end from Clark. Gets the move done ahead of Miles. And Danny Weir's just running away for his life at the moment in front of all this.
All of a sudden, Tusting is now in the fight, yeah. He's there in the background. But look at the slipstream come into play now. This is proper tough stuff. Stuart Clark needs to be careful because Philip Miles is on his left. Connor Hatfield is lifting already. He's playing the sensible game here. I think they all are. They know that there's points on the line, and points aren't something they've all got a lot of this season. Stuart Clark and Kenyon playing silly through the first chicane. Kenyon doesn't want to give him the room. Stuart's getting forceful. Now on the left-hand side goes Connor Hatfield. Kenyon blocks that one off. Tusting doesn't know where to go in all of this. He's got to think about it and be really careful as Philip Miles now side by side with Connor Hatfield, who's run wide and he's going to lose places. Tusting has tried to avoid him, and whoa, he's had a drama. Alex Fretwell suddenly arrives on the scene. God, it's like a Robot Wars Royal Rumble.
And I thought he was going to get a good run out of the Poser on Hatfield. Tusting has a black and orange flag. He picked up down that little moment of contact. Let's see it again. Not even 15 minutes left in this race, and we've been going well more than halfway now. Tusting in towards turn 1, just trying to keep it nice and safe. You can see the contact in front. Just trying to pick it up. The gravel gets kicked up, and then all of a sudden we're seeing an almost Lando Norris-style defence to the inside there. Luckily, though, for Kenny, they didn't go too deep into the following corner. Then Tusting trying to keep it out of the way of the others, and then tries to go in the middle. And then that's the hit from Fretwell. So in all of that, we didn't even see the contact, Chaz.
Unbelievable. So it was Fretwell that made the hit, unfortunately, but I'm sure he did his best to avoid Tusting. But the thing is, it all checked up in front of him so quickly that it all went to pot. They're still fighting. It's Clark from Kenyon from Miles for 8th, 9th and 10th. Fretwell is only 8 tenths back, then Connor Hatfield. David Whitehouse has got a black and orange flag again. He's having a nightmare race here, unfortunately. You've got to feel for John Tusting. He was having a really solid race, but the steering is broken. He's got Simon Price, the next car. Simon's going to finish in the points with how this is going. But what about Fabio Gris? Oh my God. What?
Did I saw that, didn't I?
Good to believe it again, really, don't you? Let's have a look. Into the corner. Whoa! Goodness me. I mean, if this was the final lap, you'd call it style points, but you've still got 13 minutes left to go. You've still got to bring it home yet, Fabio.
That's insane.
And you've got Sam Fitzpatrick getting on Thiago Martel as well. I mean, this is far from over. We've seen how, in the last couple of races, the pit stop sequence has almost gapped out the race, but it's not had that effect tonight, and it's still going to be close to the flag.
Yeah, definitely. I think the slipstream down the start-finish straight as well, really working wonders at keeping these battles together. It sort of resets them for all the twisty bits. It's been a really solid night of it. Someone is locking up on their way into the pits. That's David Whitehouse. And look at Thiago Martel. The run he can get out of that final corner is just unlike anything else. 0.5 of a second quicker than Grosseto on that previous lap with no slipstream. But it's hardly surprising when Grosseto's barely pointing in a straight line for half a lap. But I tell you, I must say, I am overly impressed. Oh my God, look at the car control. I'm so impressed with Fabio Grosseto tonight, and it's, it's no secret that he's been on the wrong side of the stewards a few times this season. He's ruffled a few feathers, even from the very first round of the season. But above everything else, he has been fast. He's been very, very fast as Grosseto. He's just not had the clean races to sort of carry the results that. The result sheet never tells the full story, and it never did, even in Fabio's instance where he was DNFing and getting penalties and so on. But right now, I mean, touch wood, if he keeps it on the track, which is, it's hard to believe, but he would be only the second driver ever, alongside Thiago Martel, to win both races on one night, and he's going to do that if he stays on the track. In the the same night he got his first ever win. It's pretty amazing.
Pretty good going, right? It doesn't get much better than that, really. Especially if you're taking a straw poll at the start of the night. One driver's going to get there. One driver's going to win both races. You wouldn't necessarily have picked Fabio Grosseto at the start of the day, but he's just been absolutely electric in this race.
On home soil, too.
Well, yeah, exactly, and he's just been able to carry himself through into this position. Mistake just in behind there was that Fretwell, or was it Miles? I don't really know. It was Miles, indeed. The front end of it, very similar. Oh, my word, that was Smith. Pile driving into the Variante Alta, and he's got his teammate now behind him of Clark. Miles has got a slowdown penalty for his crime of being hit off the road into the corner, and Smith is still defending from his teammate. Hatfield in the back of this as well. He's got some 40 seconds off the lead, but you wouldn't know, would you?
No, I'm not quite sure what Aaron was doing there. I think he tried to send it down the inside, was just late on the brakes. He knew that this was always going to be tough coming up to this group. And look, he wasted no time in getting past Connor Hatfield. He really went for it down the inside there. But then, as we continued on, this is how it all unfolded. So Philip Miles has the slowdown penalty. Well, he goes straight on, which slows him down naturally. Aaron then tries to get down the inside of Stuart Clark. He's just that late on the brakes. He's got nowhere to go, but at the same time, Philip, well, he also didn't have anywhere to go really in all of that. Kenyon and Fretwell are becoming friends. EMKA having a great night, aren't they? 7th and 8th at the moment as Kenyon makes a little mistake. That's going to ease up Alex's advantage. Still 10 minutes to go.
And the battle for the lead isn't over yet, is it? Marteau's gained back that time on Grosseto. They gapped about 1.6 seconds a couple of laps ago. Now that's 8 tenths, and of course that slipstream is going to get exponentially better the closer and closer that he gets to the back of the Italian. Then he's got Sam Fitzpatrick on his tail. You feel like they've dropped Vemstra and Smith at the moment, and then of course, bless him, Jack Reeve is just on his own. He's 16 seconds behind Smith. He's 15 seconds ahead of Danny Ware. It's the loneliest man in all of Emilia-Romagna right now. Fitzpatrick, his fastest lap of the race, 39.4, is the fastest of the top 3 in total. He was 5 tenths faster than Grosseto that lap, and he's only about a second behind if they keep up this pace at the moment for P2, they're going to be right on the tail of Grosseto by the end of this lap, or maybe next. Oh, bad line for P2. Goodness me.
They are pushing so hard through there. It's absolutely awesome. What about that in the background as well? Fraser Smith trying to move on Kevin Zemstra down the inside into the Villeneuve chicane. He goes, tries it one way then the other. Again, he doesn't need to do this. He doesn't need to fight this hard as no. Thiago Marteau's off. Thiago Marteau is having one of the busiest nights of his life. He's going to lose the places. Oh, he's got damage. He's got damage, has he? Is it broken? It looks broken. It doesn't look quite right, does it? Oh, dearie me. What on earth was that about?
Let's see it here again. Keogh in towards the corner, a bit wide onto that curb, as was Sam Fitzpatrick. Sam then...
Oh. That screams hardware issue, doesn't it?
Yeah, I was going to say, because there's nothing wrong with the... There's nothing visually wrong with the car. Of course, the tyres are cammed in, of course, naturally. Yeah, that's part of the setup of the car. He's not turning the steering any which way. He's just, yeah, crawling. There's nothing wrong with the car. He's still crawling around. This is a bit of a weird one.
Yeah. Very, very strange. It seems like maybe he's got back up to speed now. Ah.
He's staying in second gear, isn't he?
Yeah, it's not shifting. The wheels, something's gone wrong with the wheel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's devastating for Thiago Marteau. One of the absolute stars of the series. It's definite to... that's easy to say, but... Yeah, that's a big, big shame. Does mean, though, that Danny Weir, who Rob from DXT has said in the chat, it's like he's driving like his career depends on it. He's having a belter. The two EMKA cars currently on for 7th and 8th places in this race. That'll score them 18 points in total. That's almost a fifth of the points that they've scored all season. That'd be absolutely brilliant. Kenyon has had to come into the pits. That's going to promote a few more drivers as well. Thiago Marteau, unfortunately, into the pits. Is that going to be the end of the race, or is he going to try and crack on until the end? We'll see. That's Martin Kenyon driving through. Fraser Smith still fighting with Kevin Zemstra for third, but he is well in position to take the championship win if it stays like this. Aaron Smith, though, you have to give him credit. Despite that god-awful manoeuvre on Philip Miles a lap or two ago, Aaron is, well, he's doing a great job considering he started from the pits. He's up into 8th place, and his pace has been as electric as you'd expect for somebody that comes to the final round fighting for the championship.
Yeah, well, it's just been a bit of a crazy evening for Aaron Smith, hasn't it? Not exactly what he needed, but he did need a bit of a miracle if he was ever going to get back to a championship winning position. But he's just trying to drive up towards the back of the next group. Realistically, P6 is his cap, but P6 is not a bad cap. Danny Weir is, I don't think he can believe his luck right now. He's how many points does he have, Chaz, over the course of the season so far? It's not many, is it?
5.
There we go, 5, and he's going to get a lot more for that, isn't he? How many is that for P6? That is a grand total of 12 points.
Yes.
We'd nearly treble his score.
Yeah, fair play. Fair play, Danny Weir. But this is the thing, we said it earlier, and it's not just down to the fact that the smaller attendance. At the end of the day, you still have to pedal the thing and get the result out of it. But yeah, he's turned up, he's here, he's going to fight it, and he's doing his very best. And he's here to score points. And it's great that he's got his teammate behind him as well, Alex Fretwell. I think Alex may get in front of him with the slipstream especially, but they've got to keep their eye out for Aaron Smith in the background as well. How cool is it to see the two EMKA racing cars? Oh, dearie me. Zawa, by the way. Zawa, one of my biggest supporter from the Tower Simulator 3 quarter of my channel, which is 90% of it, has just gifted 20 memberships to Chaz Draycott Media subscribers. Thank you so much, Zawa. Really appreciate you, mate. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Hope you have a wonderful Thanksgiving as well, my good friend. Thank you so, so much. Lead battle, by the way, now that Thiago Marteau has gone, Grosseto is he's looking a bit more comfortable.
Yeah. It's swinging this way and that at the moment, isn't it? I think Fitzpatrick was being aided by Marteau's slipstream as Marteau put up to the back of Grosseto, and now without that aid, he's struggling a little bit more. And we've got, 4 minutes 26. We've got 3 laps left, don't we? Yeah, we've got 3 laps to decide this one. Fitzpatrick has to start making inroads quickly. He cannot lose 2 tenths again, that goes without saying. Zvenstra is looking to hold on to a podium. Fraser Smith knows at this point, realistically, that he can go for this move. It absolutely doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. He can get a podium, or he can't. He'll get a championship either way. So it's going to work out well for Fraser Smith in that gold and silver Blade Speed Esports and gold and silver teams championship. He may hold both in about 5 minutes' time.
Yeah, absolutely. He's had a hell of a season as Fraser, and he's been as Fraser Smith as you like. I mean, moves like that as well, flipping out. He never gives up, does Fraser? That's the thing as well. He will fight every driver tooth and nail till the end, even if it means risking a championship win. Danny Weir and Aaron Smith, getting very friendly. I mean, well, that's put pay to it. That's put pay to it. Aaron Smith has hit the incident limit in this race, and that will give him, a drive-through penalty, and understandably, that's put his day to bed, I'm afraid. He'll feel that was very unnecessary from Danny Weir, and I agree, where's Kevin Zemstra gone? It's all gone to pot. What's happening?
Here we go then. Anna Piratello, down towards Aqua Minerale. Kevin Zemstra, what's going to unfold here? In towards the first part, in towards the second part, touches the grass, loses the rear end, and gives up, basically.
What on earth?
There's no other way to put that, really. He's just gone a bit wide, wasn't going to make the corner, went deep into the corner, went home. That summarises that 10 seconds for you, Kevin Zemstra. Probably won't be scoring from there.
I'm hoping it's not his leg. Kevin has had a history of issues with cramp in his left leg, and it typically only strikes when he's doing well in a race. I remember in Formula 1 for Ferrari, he hates driving red cars, so maybe he's just given up on that. But in 3 seasons of Formula 1, he never wanted to be in a Ferrari, and despite the pre-season testing, putting you in a predetermined car, he always ended up in a Ferrari. And I think he was doing really well at Donington or somewhere, and he got onto the brakes and the car just went straight because his leg had cramped up, and that was that. That is a big, big shame, that is, for Kevin Zemstra. It has, however, completely opened up all of the point-scoring positions. We've got now John Tustin, despite having the meatball. He says it. Kevin said it is the cramp. That is a massive, massive shame. But John Tusting, after a meatball flag earlier, is now back in the top 10. Philip Miles is in 8th. Simon Price is in 9th. And we will indeed look back at the moment between Aaron Smith and Danny Weir. So Aaron gets the run in the slipstream, side by side. And I mean, it's been quite attritional anyway, Dara, but look how close this was.
I mean, nearly rubbing wheels down that straight in towards the Tamburello chicane they go. Of course, they go through the couple of kinks before we get to the braking zone. Danny is still there on the outside line. I think Aaron felt like he had it controlled and absolutely did. And then, where is Danny Weir? Here we go.
Oh, this is...
it was just
my bad.
It was just that tap, wasn't it? Here we go then, as they run their way out of the final corner. It was just that little moment of contact, which is what sent the incident limit into, reacting to it and therefore giving him an extra couple of points. They're running so close. I mean, it's impressive how much they're maintaining that gap really down most of that straight, and then they get closer, then there's the tap, and that's all she wrote really, isn't it, for Aaron Smith, and that was the end of his evening.
Yeah, it's a huge shame, that is. I don't think it was particularly necessary, but I don't think Danny Weir did that much. I don't think he moved a lot, so that's a tough one, unfortunately, but nothing will change the course of who's going to win the championship, and I don't think much is going to change the course of this, to be honest with you, because I don't know what Fabio Grassetto's had for breakfast, lunch or dinner. He's Italian, he's definitely had lunch, but what has he had today? He's been an absolute rocket on home soil.
Yeah, it's been so impressive, isn't it? All day long. P2 in qualifying from, the back end of the championship, one of the first drivers at that time, and he put some distance between himself and others, and only one driver could get himself above that, which was Thiago Martos. In the first race, Grosseto was second, but then, of course, he got that bit of luck with Gio spinning around, but it's been all down to him in this second race. What a way to win it.
Unbelievable way to finish the season. Fabio Grosseto wins 2 out of 2 at Imola. Incredible night to finish the season. Fitzpatrick is second, but your champion of the Formula CDM European Series is Fraser Smith. He takes the first ever driver's title, and, well, he's decided he's done with it. He's already doing burnouts, and so he is rightly allowed to. Fair play to Fraser. What a season. Commiserations to Aaron Smith for a very difficult night. Jack Reeve finishing in 4th place, great result for him, but a very lonely race to get there. He's going to wonder where everybody went. It's almost like everybody's gone home. Alex Fretwell, well, can you believe what position he's finishing in, Dara?
Well, I mean, it fits, doesn't it? P5 for the number 5. And Danny Weir's right behind him as well. I mean, what a result for MK, by far their best evening of the season. Of that, there is no doubt at all. He'll be delighted, Danny Weir. I think he'll almost be happier than Fabio, to be honest with you. Here comes Miles and Clark, 7th and 8th, just about as they cross the line. How much is that between 300ths between them? That is not much at all, goodness me.
Simon Price is going to get a good haul of points as well. Good mate of mine, Simon. He's going to really be happy with this after a difficult time at the Red Bull Ring. 7 points for Simon. That more than doubles his total for the season. Very well done indeed, sir. The Team Verde driver finishes the season on a high. John Tusting next up. He finishes in 10th despite having a meatball flag earlier. I think that's going to be a case of what might have been for him. Martin Kenyon next up in 11th place, just ahead of Connor Hatfield. And Ben Chalcraft will be, well, he's already crossed the line actually. A lap down, unfortunately, for Ben. But he will be still scoring some points at least for that. But what about Fabio Grosseto tonight? The second driver ever to take both wins on the night in Formula CDM. And he's busted that out of absolutely nowhere. 1 other podium finish all season. 5 DNFs in the last 7 races. Then he goes and wins both at Imola on home soil. That's fantastic.
And this is what we didn't know. He was preparing for this race all season long. That's why he didn't do so well at the other circuits. He practiced Imola every single week. He came into the championship thinking it was Imola every single week, and he was surprised when we were at a different circuit, but he'd absolutely smashed it tonight. And yeah, great result. I mean, and the team as well, even though, you know, the team championship was dead for the for the title battle, Wave Racing Tech have kind of gone onto the radar a little bit. Great, dosage of points tonight. Would have moved them up a little bit in the order.
Fraser Smith then takes the title as well. He is European Series champion, and rightly so as well. A very deserved championship win. And yeah, Aaron Smith questioning his luck today, but commiserations to Aaron. He put up an incredible fight all season. He said his mouse died before the start of the feature, which put him in the pit lane. He fought his way to P7 and then he got a drive through. He said, what is my luck today? And a very unfortunate day for Aaron, but still we have to respect the fact that he put up a hell of a fight against the Blade Speed Esports drivers of Fraser Smith and Lee Aberdeen. And it's Fraser that has come out on top, wearing not just the gold on the car for the team's championship, but wearing it now as driver's champion as well. Very well done, Fraser Smith. Let's have a look then at the feature race results. And can you believe it? Fabio Grosseto again in taking the win. Second win on the night. Sam Fitzpatrick will now be in 3rd place in the championship. Well done to Sam. Fraser Smith in 3rd, with Jack Reeve in 4th place. Alex Fretwell 5th. A great result for him. And Danny Weir as well. 12 points for Danny. Philip Miles 7th, great score for him, and Stuart Clark and Simon Price and John Tusting. Martin Kenyon another 5 points to his tally. Connor Hatfield as well. Ben Chalcraft has just the 3 points to his name after another difficult night. Kevin Zemstra was 3 laps down with Aaron Smith, both of them out within moments. Thiago Martos as well, and then David Whitehouse and Victor Oliveira not finishing that one. I've just had the thought as well, Dara, will Sam Fitzpatrick end up 2nd in the championship because he got that many points more than Aaron? Let's have a look, shall we? No, 2 points in it. Wow. And yeah, although, now Aaron didn't finish the race, but obviously the sim has classified him 14th, which gives you 2 points. Aaron will still beat Sam based on the fact that he has more wins and more results, but yeah, they tie on points, and Fraser Smith takes the championship. Keo Thiago Marto does just finish ahead of Kevin Zemstra, with Alex Fretwell 8th, Jack Reeve 9th. Fabio Grassetto moves up into the top 10 in the championship come the end. And wow, what a way to round out the season. We'll move back in time and we'll get some slow-mos on the go. We'll have... Oh, excuse me, that scared the life out of me. We'll get some music on the go and we'll obviously speak to some of our drivers about this final night of the season. Who do we... Oh, well, there's only one man we can start with. Fabio Grassetto. Welcome, mate.
Good evening, guys.
You must have been screaming in that car across the line. What happened?
Yeah, I was. I don't know. It was. Sorry. I always say that in Imola I get a couple of horsepower more than usual. Because my favorite track is like 2-hour drive from my house, so it's kind of a special place for me.
You can say that again, mate. I mean, your first win in Formula CDM, and then you go and top it off by becoming only the second driver ever to win both on the night. It couldn't have been more perfect, really, could it?
Yeah, it was perfect, and also a bit of surprise to keeping up to Martou, because he is really fast. At the end, he was getting closer to me. I don't know actually what happened there. When he spun out, I don't know if he did a mistake or what, but yeah, it was scary and also surprising for me to have the same pace as a guy of the level of Martou. It's really a good driver.
Well, it's been fantastic to see this performance out of nowhere tonight, because obviously you've had a difficult second half to the season with a lot of DNFs, but you know, to pull that out of the bag, you must be confident now for potential future seasons.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I am quite confident. I knew I had the pace here. Also in the other races, to be fair, I had a good pace, but yeah, consistency wasn't there. So for next season, my consistency will be my main focus.
Well, we certainly look forward to the next time we see you on track, Fabio. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Yeah, shout out to Nick, the team principal of my, other team. That is his birthday today, so happy birthday. And also hello to my girlfriend that is watching.
Well, thank you very much for being a part of it, Fabio. Great to see you. Well done. And yeah, enjoy the rest of your night.
Grazie ragazzi. Bye.
What a guy, what a win, and well, what a pair of wins for him tonight. That is epic, isn't it, Dara? Absolutely brilliant night for Fabio Grassetto.
Doesn't get much better than that. He said he's only a couple of hours away from Imola as well, so really is a local man to the circuit. And yeah, great for him to really get that boost, particularly on the back end of the season. That kind of confidence is going to run you all the way through to the start of next season, isn't it?
It absolutely will, yeah. And we need to now move on to the guy that finished just behind in that one, but rounded out his season with a decent night. Sam, welcome to the booth again, mate. Good to have you. Tied on points with Aaron Smith at the end, but only just missing out. Yeah, tied on points, but just missing out based on the win count or whatever, the count back. But you must be pretty pleased with that in the end.
Oh, well, you know what? Before you said that, I thought, it's a shame, isn't it? I've missed out by 2 or 3 points on Aaron once I looked at the results. That's a shame. And then you just told me it's even worse. So
sorry.
I don't appreciate that one. I don't know what I can do now to try to penalise him in some way, say something defamatory. I don't know. But to be fair, he's driven much better than me this season, so he absolutely deserves it. That race was all right. I mean, first race, I was battling Fraser. He defended very well, sort of trying to take advantage of the fact that, of course, he's got the championship to think about. But credit to him, he still fought pretty hard. That was pretty fun. And to be honest, I was just, the fact that it was at one point Fabio and Jack leading the way was awesome. I was just rooting for them on the F3 screen to do well. And then the second race, really amazing start. I was really pleased with that. Saved a bit of fuel, went the extra lap on the first stint. I think I changed tyres, and maybe that was the bit that cost me, because the lap that it takes to warm up the tyres put me out of the draft range, and then Keo obviously had his issue and he was going to drag me up to Fabio. So yeah, it was pretty good. I think I didn't deserve any more than that, because I think I was probably only 6th or 7th fastest today.
Well, you certainly had a good season out of it, though, Sam. I mean, you've had a lot of great fights and great pace along the way. It's definitely not a fluke, the Formula One Championship, is it? But what have you made of the whole vibe here in this championship, and especially comparing it to Formula One?
Yeah. I mean, it's been a pretty weak season, I think, for me. I made quite a few mistakes, particularly with a couple of off tracks that I picked up, which cost me later on in races, which were sort of my fault, and then not really doing enough practice, especially before the start of the season. But I mean, it's still been a lot of fun to take part in. I've also just come off second best in like every wheel-to-wheel battle, which I thought I was quite good at in Formula One, but I've really struggled on that front this season. So race 1 was another example with Fraser managing to beat me on that. So that's something I've got to work on. But it's still been a lot of fun, and I think the way that the season's ended with how competitive, guys like Alex and Jack and Fabio and Kevin all getting better, and of course, Lee, me, Aaron, obviously Kyo's way faster, but it's looking really competitive. So hopefully all those guys sign up for next season, and we'll have some more good fights.
Well, it's been a pleasure to have you as always, Sam. Thank you so much for being a part of it, and we hope to obviously see you out on track again soon. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to?
Thank you to my family who tune in a lot for these races. I think they've very much enjoyed, of course, your broadcast, so thank you very much for putting on the broadcasts every week and making it entertaining. Thanks for putting on the championship, of course. I'll certainly be signing up for next season.
Good
so
stuff.
The track list looks very good. I think it's sort of the correct sort of tracks for this car. And of course, once again, also thanks to Apex Racing Simulators. I use the rigs at the Apex Racing Sim Centre in Corby. So yeah, check out the social medias on Instagram for Apex Racing Simulators, and you can try out a rig. So if you're in the Northamptonshire area. So yeah, thanks guys.
Thank you very much, Sam. Absolute pleasure as always, mate, and we look forward to seeing you in the Americas series. Cheers.
See you then.
Fantastic, Dara. What a guy Sam Fitzpatrick is. He's had a hell of a lot of pace this season, and I mean, he was very critical of his own start to the championship, but I tell you, he turned it around, didn't he?
He did, and a really good way to end the season as well. Really good performances in the last few weeks. So close to getting that vice championship position. He's good at his readouts as well, isn't he? For Apex, he's never short on a readout. So yeah, full credit to him on all counts tonight.
No, absolutely not. He's certainly the professional with that regard. So we obviously have one driver to speak to that is quite the obvious one to bring into the booth. Dara, I'll let you take it away with our newly crowned European Series champion.
Yeah, welcome in, Fraser. Congratulations, first of all. Not the easiest evening to get it done on. I mean, that second race particularly at the start, there was a lot of battling in and around you. How nervous were you, knowing that realistically you only needed a P13, but couldn't really avoid or couldn't really get involved in too much contact?
Yeah, do you know, I was much more nervous in the first race, to be honest. I was just trying to avoid any battles, but that wasn't so easy. But yeah, second race was good. I tried to pit really early. I saw I had enough gap that I'd come out and clear air. But it looks like everyone else had the same idea, so it didn't really work.
Yeah, I mean, season as a whole, I mean, you've won the team championship, you've won the drivers championship now as well. It couldn't have really gone much better. Where do you see your highlights being over the 8 rounds that we've had so far?
I think last week was probably my best performance, I guess, but I don't know. It's just been sort of steady the whole way. Zandvoort against Kyo was great. I probably wouldn't have bet against myself before that. But yeah, I think I only had one DNF, which was sort of not my fault. So I sort of kept it in one piece, which was the main thing, I think.
Yeah, consistency is always going to carry you through. Where does this leave you, of course, being what will be the reigning champion? Looking forward to the upcoming America series. Are you looking forward to that? Well, I'm sure hoping to defend the title, obviously, but we've obviously had the calendar out recently. Is there anything you're looking forward to particularly?
Do you know, it's actually, when you see the calendar, you realise there's some really good tracks in America and places like that, and they're not really known for, tracks with right-hand corners. But they're really good. And I actually really like Mid-Ohio. Never
Yes!
really
Finally, somebody else that does.
Yeah, I really like it. So
Good.
We'll see.
Oh, well, you know what, Fraser? Just because you said that, it's going to be in every season that I can possibly cram it into now.
Deal.
The one person likes it, and now it's in everywhere. That's the risk. Before we let you go, Fraser, of course, congratulations first of all to you. But is there anybody you'd like to give a shout out to on the stream?
Yeah, I know my dad's watched every week, as far as I'm aware. Load of my mates always watch. My girlfriend Grace tends to always watch until she gets bored. And
Especially listening to me. Flipping
yeah,
it.
God, who do you want to put that through? Yourself for the broadcast. I know Chaz have put a lot of work into all the liveries and everything. So, yeah, and just everyone that was racing.
Yeah, top man. I echo what you said about Chaz, because I have to sit here every week for a couple of hours. But it's fine. It's fine. Congratulations, Fraser, and good luck for the American Series.
Thank you very much.
Congrats, Fraser. See you soon.
Cheers, Chaz. Bye.
Well, there you go then. Fraser Smith taking the Formula CDM European Series, the very first ever champion that we have in Formula CDM. I do want to have a quick word with a few more drivers because they're kindly waiting for us. Let's have a word with Jack Reeve. We've actually moved first, second, third, fourth at the moment, and we will have the chance to do fifth and sixth as well. Mr. Reeve, welcome to the booth, mate. Not a bad night for you, but
evening.
Flipping heck, what a lonely race you had in race 2.
Yeah, I mean, we got off to a great start. I had much better pace than I was expecting, and was able to keep the runners. Made a little last-minute dive into the pits, trying to follow Keogh in, and then unfortunately made a silly mistake, and was on my own for the rest of the evening.
It's easily done at Imola, though, isn't it? Because the slipstream was clearly keeping people together. I mean, it looked like it was hard to avoid it almost. I know that potentially sometimes you don't want that much slipstream, do you? Because you want the clear air to run into.
Yeah, we was all trying to back off a little bit. I know Sam was saying he was really heavily fuel saving, just backing off, because as you say, sometimes it does not help because of dirty air, and you just get the weight from the car in front, and mistakes just easily happen that way.
They absolutely do. How would you sum up your season then after being quite near the sharp end for the whole of it?
I would say I've come a long way as a driver. I feel like from Formula 1, starting off towards the bottom of the pack, and I feel like I'm making my way up to the front. I reckon maybe a few more seasons and I'll be battling the guys for wins, but I mean, I'm very happy of how the season's gone so far. Just a couple silly mistakes and unfortunate accidents, but yeah, overall fairly well.
Happens to the best of us, mate. Don't worry about it. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Massive shout out to you guys for putting on this great event. Looking forward to coming back for more, and big shout out to my family. Girlfriend's watching, dad's watching, my mum's watching, so and a massive shout out to Aaron. He's not had a very good day today, as you know, Chaz.
Yeah.
The race didn't go his way either, so big shout out to Aaron. We're always in comms chatting, trying to coach each other, so big shout out to Aaron as well.
Lovely stuff. Well, thank you very much for being a part of it, Jack, and we look forward to seeing how you get on in future seasons.
Thank you, guys. Chat to you later.
There he goes, Jack Reeve. We'll quickly move on and we'll go back down another position, and Dara will catch up now with the driver that ironically finished in 5th.
Yeah, P5, number 5, everything's 5 for Alex. Well, welcome in, Alex. Congratulations on the P5. A little bit of a struggle towards the middle part of that race. Took us through that battle towards the end. That was a big old clump of cars, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think unfortunately, looks like a bit of netcode with John, with the car rejoining ahead of him. He checked up a bit, and then just as I avoid him, there's a bit of netcode, so I assume that meatballed him. But yeah, I didn't know where to look catching that group. It's like, what, 6 cars, like 2 wide, like 3 lots of 2 wide in front of me. It's just ridiculous. Yeah, a little bit of a messy way to end what I think has been a reasonable effort this season. But yeah, I'll take it. But yeah, a little bit of a downer.
Yeah, and good night for the team as well, with Danny doing really well. So a good way to end for for the two of you. I mean, the season as a whole, though, coming out of it, you mentioned that this was a bit of a funny one. Where have the highlights been for you over the course of the season?
Coming out of turn 2 at Zolder in P2. I can't remember where I was on the grid. I think I was somewhere ridiculous, like, I don't know, 17th or something. That was probably my highlight. And also the view in my mirror and the in the reverse grid race last week at Red Bull Ring out of turn 2 when everyone just disappeared. So had a good lead there for a couple of laps. But no, pace hasn't quite been there, but still had some good battles and consistency. I think sort of brought me some good results. Where did I get a podium? Just 2 races ago.
It
Hungary,
was at the Hungaroring, yeah.
Yeah, so even if it was in the steward's room rather than on track, I think I finished 5th on track in that race as well. But I'll take it. Yeah, hopefully continue a sort of upward trend into the next season.
Yeah, and things to build on as well going into the next season in the new year. So there's always that. So yeah, positive to take. Before we let you go, though, Alex, is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to on the screen?
Yes, I guess. Ben Chalcraft. I'm so sorry. As soon as I realised it was him, I was just like, oh my god. Just got a little bit hot into turn 1. I tried bailing into the grass, but it was too late at that point. It just had to be him, didn't it?
Yeah, I think Ben's been the unluckiest guy this season, I think. Poor bloke.
Yeah.
But there we go. Yeah, I mean, you might have to send him a Christmas card just in case. We'll see if we get one back, but there you go.
But beyond that, just you two guys, obviously, I've been listening again tonight and cracking as always, so...
Thank you, mate.
Oh, thanks, Alex. But yeah, congratulations. Well done on the P5 at the end of the race, and yeah, good luck for next season. Enjoy Christmas and the New Year.
You too. Cheers, guys.
Well, there we go. I think, regardless of the drivers that we've spoken to before now, the one who's going to have the biggest grin on his face is Danny Weir. Danny, what a night for you, mate. That second race, you ended up coming home in 6th. I mean, you know that. You've already done the maths, I know. You've got 12 points out of that race when you had 5.
Oh, nah, give up. Give up, season. Season's done.
You had 12 points out of that final race when you had just 5 coming into tonight. You must be buzzing, mate. Well done.
No, I really am. That was a great fight. Wasn't expecting at all to be anywhere near the top. That's why I said in the week, after you mentioned it on stream, that just I'm relying on Alex to score 3 points for us. But no, he smashed it. I done really well. I'm a bit disappointed with the no contact with Smith. That was a bit of a weird one because there was 0x on mine, so I don't know what happened there with him. But yeah, overall, said the weekend was brilliant. I can't really complain.
And what have you thought of the season overall? I know that this car's been a tricky little blighter at points, but it looks like you've been amongst it and had a good laugh with it by the look of it.
This car has been amazing. It's been the better car. I said the Mazda can go to hell. This one is my new favourite car. This is genuinely a lovely car. And I was apprehensive at first with it being an Indy car and thinking, we ran European tracks with lefts and rights, but do you know what? No, it's a brilliant car. It's just makes you feel like you are in the 90s. All you need to hear now is a bit of Murray Walker going, go, go, and then you're back.
Well, it's good to hear that because I know that, I mean, like you say, people were apprehensive about it at the start because it does try and kill you every time you look at it funny, but it's a car that feels alive, isn't it? It's not numb and on rails like a lot of Formula cars.
No, exactly. And it rewards you for the good things, and it will tell you that if you're doing it wrong. So it kind of teaches you how to drive it anyway. So like today, you couldn't drive it like a normal, like the rest of the season with this track as well. You had to kind of treat it completely counterintuitive than what you believe and go really slow into the corners and take a strange exit out. But when you're doing it right, you can feel the car's happy and it's settled, and it's just a nice car to be in. Like, it was lovely. And so temperatures today were perfect. It was just I can wax lyrical about this track and this car today, but it was brilliant.
Well, we're certainly glad you enjoyed it, mate, and a great way to round out your season. Is there anyone you'd like to give a shout out to before we round things up?
A massive shout out, obviously, to my teammate Alex. We'll see how the wheels kind to us next year. We're teamed up again. Shout out to the DXT boys, obviously, for being there. And involuntary shout out to Martin, who, through his battling, was giving me a bit of leeway as well. But no, thanks to you guys. I think this season's been amazing, and I really can't wait for the Americas.
Well, that was going to be my next question, mate. Can we count on seeing you there? And I'm excited. Excited to.
I'm taking it out of your mouth. 100%. I'm there.
Well, I mean, to be fair, you and Alex can both opt to stay at the same team for following seasons.
No,
so
no,
yeah,
no blue car.
Oh no blue car then.
I've had two French blue cars. I want something different.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm turned into the blue Zemstra.
Well, it's been great to have you, Danny. Thank you so much for being such a good supporter of the series and being a part of it. And yeah, we'll see you in America, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, lads. It's been a brilliant season.
Cheers, mate. Well, Danny Weir enjoyed himself, didn't he? Flipping out.
Happy, yeah.
It's great to hear that, though. And I mean, you know, from a personal perspective, it's so rewarding to hear that from a driver, because I know that the car choice, I decided this car before I even put the series out there. You know, I worked on these liveries and did all of this before I even announced the championship. I'd just done it and thought, you know what, yeah, we'll go ahead with this. It's a weird little car. It's a car that not many people have heard of. I don't even think Ed May still knows what it's called. It's one of those things where you've just got to... Oh, thanks, Spotify. You've just got to throw people at a car like this. And once you realise the way it behaves and so on, it does become lovable. And I think that moving forward, the Formula CDM America Series could certainly be another good opportunity to show people how this car is and how good it is as well. Well, unfortunately, that is the end of the season. And Dara, it's been an absolute joy to have you back in the commentary box with me, mate. Is there anything you'd like to add before we round up the show?
I mean, thank you for having me in the last few rounds. It's been an absolute pleasure. I mean, it's such a great series, such a fun little series with all of these guys going around in these cars. Great racing. We've had some great battles and some surprises as well. And Danny, we proved it. It doesn't take a podium or a win to bring you happiness. Sometimes sixth will do.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much, Dara. Thank you, all the drivers, everybody that's been involved with this. It's been an absolute riot this season. As you'll see, we're back in January. We'll be back for Season 2, the Americas Series, where we start at Mid-Ohio, a track that Fraser Smith enjoys, and me and him are probably just about the only people in the world. That's why it's on the calendar. But as you can see, we have a belter of a calendar lined up. We don't have any Road America. We don't have any Daytona or Sebring here. This is going to be some spicy little circuits over in the Americas, and we hope that you'll join us for that one. But for now, thank you so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll see you in January.